Hey dudes, I'm Hilah and welcome to Hilah Cooking. Today I'm going to share with you a really delicious and simple and super cheap black bean soup recipe. I've had some requests for budget meals and also for like bean soup recipes, and it seems like maybe it's a little weird to eat bean soup in the summertime because it's like real hot outside, but you could also serve this cold. I know that seems a little strange perhaps, but just trust me on this one, okay? All right, let's get cracking. Toot toot, all aboard the bean soup train. Okay. All right, first step is we're gonna saute over a pretty high heat some onion and whatever kind of fresh pepper you want. I'm using a jalapeno, but if you want to keep it mild, like for little children, then you can use bell pepper. We're just gonna cook this for 5 minutes or so until it's gotten a little bit toasty and brown to add some depth of flavor. Once your onions are a little bit browned, like you see here, add the garlic and then the dry spices here. And just like a few seconds, kind of get these a little bit toasted, and you'll start to really smell the fragrance coming in your nostrils. Ooh, gross. Okay. Soaked black beans. I just soaked these overnight and then rinsed and drained them. And then I add just a bunch of water. And then the only thing to really remember when you're cooking dried beans is not to add any salt or any acidic things like tomatoes or molasses or anything like that, or vinegar, before the beans are softened, because it hampers and hinders the softening of the beans. And then I've just got some cilantro, which is, I use the stems and the leaves of the cilantro here. And now we're just gonna bring this to a boil and then let it simmer for an hour or an hour and a half or a bajillion years. Okay, so it's been about an hour and you can see these beans are really soft. They're kind of starting to bust open. And when you get one in your little fingers, you can squish it. It's real hot though. So that means we're good. Now I can add my salt. And I'm gonna puree this a little bit with an immersion blender. You could put it in the blender, but be really careful when you're blending hot liquids to like put a cloth over the lid and hold it down really tight, because with hot liquids the pressure will build up. Blow the lid off your blender, and soup everywhere, dude. It's messy. So I'm just gonna do this and just want to puree about half of it so it stays a little bit chunky. Beans. Quit messing around, beans. And now I'm gonna add some carrots, and then we'll just turn this back on the heat and cook it just until the carrots are done, and I'm gonna leave the lid off so it, thickens up a little bit. So maybe another 20 minutes or so. All right, so our carrots are tender. I've tasted it for salt and adjusted that, and then the last thing is I'm just adding some fresh orange juice and lime juice mixed together. It's just gonna kind of brighten the flavor up. And it also makes the iron more available to your body. And then you can top it with sour cream, or you can serve it over rice, but I like to just put a little bit of cilantro on it, and then maybe a little bit of hot sauce. So, okay, let's try this. That was really nice. The lime juice and the orange juice just really gives it a little lively, it's a lively little soup. I hope you try this, and if you have any questions or anything, leave them in the comments below. You can totally like add meat to this if you want to. Pork or bacon would be great, but it's also delicious just as a standalone vegetarian meal. So I hope you try it. Thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful week, everyone. Bye.